Hey, how are you? My name is Tammy Hardin and I'm the Unemotional Eater. And so today we're just going to talk about what I do. I just always say it's a little crazy, but I am an EFT practitioner. More specifically, I'm a Christian faster EFT practitioner. If you've been out and studied anything to do with EFT, there's a couple things that you know. One is there's multiple forms of EFT that are out there. The other is it's about moving energy out of your body. You know, if you've read anything on me or gone to my About page or any of that, you know that my background is in addiction. And specifically, there's two things that I saw. One was that people were chronic relapsers, and it was always around stress being activated. And the second was even the folks who stayed sober, they typically would pick up something else. They would pick up food, or they would pick up sex, or they would become workaholics, or they were what I now refer to as they would just change seats on the Titanic. They didn't really solve the problem. Because and even in Alcoholics Anonymous, they'll tell you that alcohol is but a symptom. And so traditional medicine I found had two options, either to talk about it or medicate it. And I just believed there was something else out there. And so I've spent the last 20 years trying to find out what other ways you could change. And I personally, I struggled with anger for years, and I logically understood what people were saying to me, but it was like, I was a Pavlov dog. The bell would ring and I would salivate, and there was no way to stop from point A to point B. And then we were off to the races. I couldn't get the donkey back in the barn, as to say. And so when I found EFT, all of a sudden energy started moving, and all of a sudden things started changing, and I could do that thing that I could never do before. And it changed everything for me. The other thing is it's changed everything for other people. I continue to be amazed every day when people, they just kind of trust me, because they're just like, okay, I've just heard your story, so I'm just going to trust you and I'm going to try this. And if you're desperate like me, you kind of will try anything because you're just so desperate. But then they're shocked, just like I was, when all of a sudden, the latest is I worked on a lady about scales, because she was obsessed with the scales, and she decided she wasn't going to get on the scales, but she was what we call white knuckling it. And so we worked on it for about 15 minutes, and so she sent me this text the other day, and she goes, "It's the craziest thing." She goes, "It's just like they're there, so what?" And she was like, she goes, "I was suffering before, and now it's just, I don't care." And that's power. When all of a sudden an object like a scale doesn't own you anymore, that's powerful. When you tell that, that the scale's owning me to anybody else on the planet, they think you're a little nuts. But when you say that to a foodie, somebody like me, I go, yeah, I get that, baby, I know. I want to share with you in the next video just what does tapping look like, and I want to just do a chocolate protocol for you, because a lot of people suffer with chocolate, and so I just so look forward to sharing with you again. I love what I do. I love helping people. I love seeing the changes that go on in other people's lives. I love seeing the changes that's gone on in my own life. So we will talk soon. Blessings.